Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining our monthly Oracle Integration Partner Community Webcast. I'm Jürgen Kress from the Oracle Product Management team. In case you missed any of the previous webcasts, you can find on-demand recordings on the Oracle Video Hub, where the presentation slides are also available for download. You will find links in our monthly community newsletter. Today, we are kicking off the new fiscal year by introducing the latest marketing, sales resources to help you positioning Oracle integration with Agentic AI. Our goal is to support you throughout the entire sales cycle, from customer presentations, which can be easily customized with your own services and references, to live demonstrations and rapid prototyping based on your customer-specific business use cases. Together, we have the tremendous opportunity to help our joint customer base. Each SaaS customer requires integration. Expand existing accounts through iPaaS consolidation, or drive and innovate with robotic process automation and Agentic AI. Each of these initiatives creates significant opportunity for partner services, from advisory and implementation to modernization and AI adoption. To set the stage, I'm welcome Nathan. Nathan, you're our thought leader for AI and integration. Good morning.
Morning, Jürgen. How are you doing?
Thanks. I hope you had a coffee.
I did have a coffee.
So here comes my tough question. So you have been meeting with customers around the world and participating in many board-level discussions. What are the key questions you are hearing today?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question. From my discussions with customers, the question is not how do we create agents, but how do we actually create governed access to the enterprise? How do we ensure that the agents accessing our enterprise data are doing so in a safe and reliable manner? That has become the most important question, which very fortunately for us, we have a great answer for that.
Excellent. And what are the quickest business wins that you see from the customer use case perspective?
So honestly, the most productive way to get started with your customer is to help them find a business process that needs to be automated, a business process that they have an intimate understanding in how it works, and then build some agents and learn as you go along. And as you do that, you'll start to uncover and start to learn yourself what are the correct attributes for these agents.
How long does it take to build an agent?
Building an agent is actually quite simple. Getting the understanding the domain expertise that you need to kind of convince the agent to go perform, providing it the access to the trusted context that you need, providing it access to be able to take actions that you need. Those are the areas that take a bit longer. Obviously, these are areas that we are focusing on and trying to simplify that for customers.
So if you have done this in your integration, you can reuse it and you're much quicker?
100%. We have really focused on not only making it easy for agents to be able to leverage our connectivity and our automation tools, but making it very easy for customers to leverage the investments they've already made in Oracle integration. If they've already created integrations to operate their business using traditional automation techniques, we are making it very simple for them to repurpose those exact same integrations, those exact same automations for use by their agents.
Yeah. So as organizations adopt AI, connecting enterprise applications such as ERP, HCM, and CX become even more critical. Oracle Integration provides the certified adapters and pre-built connectivity that simplifies these integrations. With our latest AI capabilities, you can also expose those as an AI toolset, enabling large language models to secure access enterprise data and business processes. This empowers AI agents to make better decisions while ensuring human oversight, governance, and security. The objective for today's webcast is to bring you up to date with the latest Oracle integration innovations, product capabilities, and partner resources that will help you to successfully position and implement agentic AI solutions. We will show you how to leverage the full Oracle integration platform, including the AI capabilities, to create new customer value and create your service business. With that, let's get started. Please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Please blog and tweet only about services and functionality which is available today. Quick housekeeping. Please feel free to post your questions via the conference Q&A tool or social media with the hashtag Oracle Integration. At the end of the webcast, we will answer them. Slides will be available at the Video Hub channel and community website. Please share your feedback via the Zoom survey at the end of the webcast. For today's agenda, after my short introduction, we will introduce the new capabilities and the Oracle integration positioning. Nathan, will you include a live demo?
I might, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course,
So,
we
that's good.
include a live demo. Always include live demos.
So I will wrap up with the resources and how to get started and your questions and answers. Oracle just announced record fiscal year results. Thanks and congratulations to all customers, partners, and employees. Nathan, what are the outstanding results you would like to highlight?
Well, from a fiscal year perspective, one of the things that we're most proud of is that we are starting to see really good accelerated revenue growth quarter over quarter, starting from last year, as we've reframed Oracle integration as an integration platform into this platform now that provides agentic AI governance for their agents. And so, yeah, one of the things that we are most pleased with was the accelerated revenue growth that we've been seeing quarter over quarter.
Yeah, thanks to all partners for making that happen.
Yes, absolutely.
So we support you to get started with agentic AI, and Oracle integration is part of the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure free trial program. We help you with the live labs and boot camps to get trained to build rapid prototypes for your customers. And we have the sales and marketing kits now available. The sales kits include a customer presentation in PowerPoint format and the cheat sheets. And in the marketing kits, we support you to run joint events, going for your existing customer base and driving innovation through AI. Reach out to the team and post your questions via the Cloud Customer Connect and the Partner Slack channel. With that short introduction, over to you, Nathan.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okie doke. Excellent. Well, again, thanks very much for you guys attending and spending your time here with us. Look, you know our core value as an integration platform, helping our customers to connect apps and data to automate business processes. And the reason this topic is so relevant still in this new modern agentic age is that the connectivity and the automation that our customers have already invested in are exactly what's required to provide the governed access and the controlled business execution that we believe are essential to any serious use of AI agents. Now, hopefully, much of what we'll talk about and show today is becoming second nature to you. I hope to be able to show you some new features, but the important takeaway here is that this reframing of Oracle integration from an integration platform to an agentic AI governance platform. This is not a new platform. This is not us starting all over again. This is taking what we already provide, our core capabilities, and now making it relevant, very relevant in this new agentic age. Of course, that starts with our extensive library of pre-built connectivity. You guys are very familiar with this, really allowing our customers to have a simplified and controlled way to connect to pretty much any application or data source. And in the agentic world, this is a very pragmatic way to give agents access to the enterprise context they need, governed access to real enterprise data. And where connectivity gives agents the data that they need, automation gives them the ability to take action within the enterprise. And of course, our portfolio of automation tools like integration, RPA, rule-based decisions, B2B, and human oversight, these tools are what provide the options for how to give agents that power of action within the enterprise. So fundamentally, this connectivity and automation are one of the ways that customers are already getting work done using Oracle integration. And these exact same tools can now be used by agents to safely do exactly the same. So how do we go from this platform focused on connectivity and automation to something that's we believe is essential to the use of AI agents? Before we actually get into how we're making that happen, let's first recap the kind of work that these agentic systems are engaging in. So agents, we believe agents are best understood as just another automation pattern. What changes with agents, of course, is the range of work, the range of automation that can now be reached. So traditional automations that once handled really only structured business processes where you had very predictable tasks that could be described by predefined rules, can now be extended to work that is much more variable, more ambiguous, and has shifting context. So the right enterprise question is not whether work should be manual or deterministic or agentic. In most of our customer scenarios that we're talking with, the answer is going to be a hybrid operating pattern that combines all three forms of work. Agentic automation that interprets context and resolves ambiguity, deterministic automation that executes business flows in a predictable and repeatable manner, and human oversight that provides accountability where the risk still remains high, where there still is ambiguity, and where there's material business judgment that needs to be applied. You'll often hear people who are selling agents talk about, well, this whole notion of deterministic execution is kind of old school. We don't need that anymore. We can use the agents. We believe that is absolutely the wrong approach. We believe that you'll use the agents for again interpreting that context, but ultimately, especially when the agents need to take action, the ability to have that deterministic execution, that ability to have predictable, repeatable actions taken in the enterprise is absolutely key. So where do we see ourselves fitting in? Yes, you can create agents today directly within Oracle integration, and we're certainly not discouraging you from doing so. But we see our real value not in the agents, where there's rapid changes in the models, in the frameworks. Of course, now much of the focus is using those frameworks to build agentic harnesses, and of course, maturing industry standards like MCP and A2A and so on and so forth. All of those advancements are, of course, super important, but they are not the only part of the architectural decisions that customers need to consider. As I mentioned in the opening here, much of what we're hearing from customers is a concern about governance. How do I ensure that my agents have governed, safe, reliable, predictable access to my enterprise? That when they're taking actions, that it's something that I'm okay with them doing. So what must remain true for agents, regardless of the models, regardless of the frameworks and the various protocols in use, is that we have to provide these agents safe access to enterprise data, enterprise actions to do real work within the business. And so we believe that really focuses around four main principles. So first, of course, agents need trusted context. They should really only have access to enterprise data through managed, permission-aware mechanisms, right? So not giving them direct access to, for instance, APIs or embedded implementation details. So what we believe is that the agents should be given what they need for the task through an enterprise controlled access layer. Second, agents need governed action. An agent should not be simply handed unrestricted access to technical operations. So for instance, unrestricted access to MCP servers, and then ask them to kind of figure out what the business implications of that should be. They should be really given access to these technical operations through policy bounded business actions. So actions that can ensure safe access to the agents, where there's clear intent, the constraints, and the appropriate guardrails are all applied. So together, these first two principles create this notion of governed enterprise access. They define what an agent knows and how it should do it. But of course, access alone is not sufficient. Real enterprise work also needs a controlled execution layer. And that begins with this notion of deterministic executions. So agents can decide when actions should be executed, but once an action is initiated, the enterprise needs a predictable and repeatable execution of that process. something that can be explained, something that can be defended, can be audited, and as I mentioned, repeated. So that includes orchestration across systems. It includes applying business rules, handling exceptions, the ability to understand what happens when the outcomes don't go quite as expected. And then finally, there's this whole notion of human oversight. So yes, agents can certainly accelerate work, but they do not eliminate the need for human judgment, for approvals, for escalations. They do absolutely do not eliminate the need for accountability to what work is actually getting done. So the important point here is that these principles are not tied to any particular model, to any particular kind of agent framework, any particular protocol. All of these architectural principles are really kind of grounded in what we would traditionally think of as kind of basic software engineering principles, and you know. Customers often are thinking, well, agents are a whole new thing. All of the software engineering principles that we had from yesterday no longer apply. We believe that not only do they apply, but they even more so apply today because we have this much more variable kind of synthetic brain that we're trying to work with. Now, of course, the question that we get an awful lot from our customer is, why don't I just give my agents, what is all this control and governance and all of this? Why don't I just give my agents direct access to the APIs? Or, we now have MCP servers. Why don't I just give my agent direct access to the MCP servers? And it sounds like a very easy and obvious thing to do. But every time that we give an agent direct access either to APIs or now this notion of MCP servers, what we're doing is we're pushing governance into the agents themselves, where it's much, much more difficult to be able to control it. The credentials, the orchestration, the oversight, the policies, all of that ultimately ends up then getting spread throughout your entire enterprise. When things go wrong, it makes it much more difficult to go figure out how do we go ahead and resolve these issues. So Oracle Integration's job is to insert a governance layer so that control lives in the infrastructure at the enterprise level, not in the specific agents. So, what are we specifically doing? What are the specific capabilities that we are providing to accommodate those software engineering principles? One is that we are making it very simple for your agents to leverage our connectivity and our automation by making it easy to expose integrations as first-class agent tools. So obviously that provides them not only access to the enterprise apps and data, not only does it provide them access to all of our automation components, but it also creates a nice reusable metaphor for customers to be able to leverage those exact same investments that they made, not only for their traditional automation approaches, but also for this new agentic AI approach. Great. So now we can leverage integrations or connectivity to allow agents to access data. What happens when we want to use third-party MCP servers? So we are providing out of the box what we call an MCP gateway that allows us to register all of your MCP servers with Oracle integration, meaning that you get to control who has authorization to those MCP servers, and then expose those MCP servers through a gateway. Now, the gateway from the agent's perspective, the gateway looks like an MCP server, right? And agents don't know anything about gateways. They just know about MCP servers. So to the agent, the gateway looks just like an MCP server. But what that gateway provides is an ability for us to step in the middle between the agent and the actual MCP server itself and provide policies. What tools are available, ensure that there's no tool poisoning, and do things such as PII removal or management of PII data. We'll provide many different policies to apply at the enterprise level so that we ensure that when the agents are accessing those enterprise servers, they're accessing them exactly the way that we would expect them to be accessed. Also, by the way, when we do this, when we kind of step in the middle, we're also now providing unified observability. So regardless of which agents are using which MCP servers, our customers will have one place to go to get the observability around exactly which tools were used, when were they used, which agents used them, what was the data that transpired, and so on and so forth. Of course, human in the loop, we have, as you guys have probably already seen, we have completely repurposed our process automation capabilities into this notion of human in the loop, providing that human oversight for approvals and exception handling and such like that. And then agent orchestration. So in addition to being able to orchestrate APIs and rule-based decisions and RPA robots and things like that, we are making it easy for you to go out and discover other agents that might be in the enterprise, and then be able to incorporate those agents directly within integration flows. Really making it possible for you to create hybrid, deterministic, and non-deterministic business processes. So there we go. That's kind of our perspective on how we have been reframing Oracle integration and for this new agentic agent. Quite frankly, this messaging has really started to resonate with our customers. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those capabilities that we talked about. We won't go through this too much, but obviously agents are the core agentic reasoning, the harness that manages the goals and access to their tools. Of course, we're using Model Context Protocol, MCP, to provide that standardized access between the agents and the tools themselves. Of course, within Oracle, we have many different agentic systems that are being created. So obviously the Fusion Applications team is creating agents using their AI Studio. They actually have a very robust agentic story on building agents directly within Fusion Applications. We have our AI data platform, of course, built on top of the data lakehouse, on top of a medallion-based data repository, where you can build agents directly to consume that agent data. The database agent factory out of the 26 AI team. Of course, the OCI team has recently released this idea of OCI Enterprise AI. And of course, there are many third-party agentic systems out there as well. All of these agentic systems are going to have their own native set of tools that you would obviously use where appropriate, but almost in all use cases, you will have the case where though you will extend the capabilities that you need for your agent beyond what those native tools can provide. So providing that trusted context beyond what the data that the agents can access, being able to provide that governed action, that deterministic execution, using a broader set of automation tools like rule-based decisions or RPA or human in a loop, but then ultimately providing a mechanism to centralize how those agents are actually accessing the enterprise apps and data. And so with that, let me switch over to the product and we'll take a look. So one thing that I do want to call out here, so this is our new homepage. You should start to see this in this latest release. One of the things that we've added is this notion of kind of this what's new cards. And one of those is going to be like our Join or Accelerate program. So you can just simply click on that. And if you want to have your customer join the Accelerate program, simply have them choose that, go through here, and then follow the instructions to get signed up. We will also have, so as news comes along, as we find, obviously you guys know that we have started enforcing our overage on usage. So as customers use more than what they've committed to through their message packs, we are now charging them. So there has been some questions around that. So we will ultimately end up having a news card out here to kind of help customers better understand how they're being built. So just nothing to do with AI, but just something for you to think about. as you're using the product and helping your customers use the product, a very simple place for them to go. Of course, everything that we're doing today is focused in projects. We still see a lot of customers who are not using projects. We highly encourage them to use projects. We would like to encourage you to help your customers move to projects. We already have some capabilities built into the product to make it simple to move integrations from this global space into projects. We will be adding more as you go along. Our objective is to make it super easy for customers to go ahead and get their integrations moved over into projects. We feel projects have intrinsic value. Obviously, it's where all of our new innovations are going. And so we think that it's really important for customers to move there. And of course, within projects, we have consolidated all of our automation components, our integrations, our agents, the gateway, our robots, are now human in the loop, rule-based decisions, all of our healthcare connectivity, B2B, and what we call our knowledge base. So I'm going to walk through this demo. You guys have maybe seen pieces and parts of this before, but hopefully we'll show some of the newer capabilities that we've been just recently rolling out. So we have this use case where we have a shared service center. Invoice documents are arriving at that shared service center. They're being scanned and stored in a file server, and we would like to automate processing those documents. Now, of course, we would obviously create a number of different functions, a number of different building blocks on how to actually process those invoices. I have quite a few here. So integrations to create invoices, to actually work with the documents in the file server, integrations to use OCI Gen AI services to, for instance, classify the document or extract data from the document. A couple integrations here that'll actually be invoking our human in the loop capabilities, and then another integration here for approval routing. And we'll see that here in a second. Anyway, we have all of these integrations. Of course, agents know nothing about integrations. Agents really only know about this concept of tools. And so we have tools as a first-class concept now within Oracle Integration. All of these other cards here, the agents, the agent patterns, prompt templates. This is how you would build agents directly within OIC. And again, we would encourage you to take a look at this, but the main focus that we're really, from a value proposition standpoint, that we're really focused on is how do we provide this governance. So I have a number of tools here created already. I want to create another tool. It's very simple. I just come in, I say I want to create a tool. You will start to see here this notion of connection as a tool, meaning that you can actually create the tool based off of an actual connection. So in other words, you don't even need to create the integration. You can just simply select a connection. We will create the integration for you behind the scenes, and then obviously create the tool that's directly apply to that. So we'll see that here rolling out here pretty soon. In this case here, I'm just going to do something simple. I want to go ahead and add this classified document tool. We've automatically copied the description for that integration over here into the tool, and now we have our tool. And of course, the tool is nothing more than metadata that we're going to send to the agent for the LLM to reason over. What does this tool do? Is this something that I could use? And if so, how do I use it? And so this would be describing to the agent what the tool does. And then, of course, if the agent thinks that it should use that, this is the interface that we're providing. And, we can include here, the document file name. So we can provide some instructions here, even for the individual parameters. Of course, many integrations are going to have very complex interfaces. And so we make it easy for you to go ahead and shape the exact interface that the agent is going to see. So that may be a subset. And in fact, a lot of times it's going to be just a subset of the actual integration interface itself. So now we have the tools. So of course, we have these tools for human in the loop. Let me take over here and show you our human workflow. So again, we've moved process automation into projects directly within OIC. This is a very simple human approval workflow with a simple approval task. One of the things you'll notice is that we've actually we've separated forms from the process definitions themselves. And we've done that for a couple of reasons. One is because now obviously you can reuse those forms, but you'll also start to see here in the very near future to where these forms can also be used to provide what's called MCP apps, to provide user interfaces directly for the agents themselves, even outside of the notion of process automation. So here, so we'll be using this human in the loop workflow. The other thing I want to show you is, and I think I have it over here in another project, invoice processing knowledge base, is this notion of a knowledge base. So we have actually built a complete RAG infrastructure directly within Oracle integration. And all of this is based on this notion of a knowledge base, and this knowledge base is all driven off of a number of different integrations. And so I have these 3 integrations here that were installed as part of me creating this knowledge base. So this is a scheduled integration, but this would be the integration that we could expose to actually search the knowledge base. This would be an integration that we expose to actually ingest documents into the knowledge base. And of course, we install all of this for you by default and give you like some common kind of configurations for that. But obviously, because this is all integration, because we provide all of the kind of configurations that you would need, you can take complete control over things like chunking strategies, embedding models, all of those things, all of those details you can actually have direct control over. With the knowledge base itself, I can just simply come into the knowledge base. If I want to add documents to that knowledge base, I just simply come in here, say add a document. I'm going to add this invoice processing policies document. In this policies document are some rules about when invoices require approval. I'll add that. This will automatically now invoke that ingestion integration. It'll ingest that document, and now this document is ready to be accessed through this RAG infrastructure. And in fact, if I come back here and I say, let me run this knowledge search, I'll run this integration, and I'll say, oh, I want to what's that? That's about yeah. Let me go ahead and do a semantic search on this policy document to find some sort of invoice approval limits. When I run this will now go out to that RAG infrastructure and pull back. In this case here, I've asked for 3 different chunks. Pull back the most relevant chunks based on that semantic search. So just maybe a first look at this knowledge base that we have. So I'd like to add that knowledge base to my agent here. So I'm going to add another tool. Now, we don't need to add integrations that are only defined within this project. I can also go out and I can find integrations that have been shared out to me from other projects. So this maybe gives a little bit of an idea of how we think about maybe customers organizing their projects, organizing their integrations within projects. And I don't know why I keep getting this stupid fill code thing. I'll go out and build that, grab that knowledge base search integration, and I will create a tool for that. These are all fairly self-explanatory. We could, if we needed to, provide some additional descriptions for those, but we probably don't need to, and the agent will be just fine. So now we have all of our tools. Of course, agents know how to use tools. They don't know how to discover tools within OIC. And so, of course, the way that you would expose tools to an agent would be to create an MCP server. We make it very simple to create the MCP server. You basically just check this checkbox, and now this MCP server is now available to me. I'll copy the URL for that, and I will come over here to Langflow, and I will now use that. So I can come into Langflow, again, just a very simple low-code agent system. Let me just maybe get rid of that. There we go. We'll call this MCP server OIC MCP server, and oops, because that fill thing. Let's copy that again, and we will paste in the URL. I'll provide this a token that it can use to connect to the MCP server. And now we have an MCP server that we can use in our agent. Of course, it's gone out and interrogated all of those tools. I will connect that up and I'll connect it to our agent, and we can now go and run this. So I can say something like, please. In the invoices folder. And it will now, of course, go off and start interacting with those various tools. Ultimately, all of those tools will be implemented as integrations, and we will start to see those integrations being called. So if I come back over here to OIC and I go into Observe, I will indeed see all of these integrations now being executed on behalf of that agent. One thing I would like to show you here by the way, another kind of new feature that we have added is this notion of providing intelligent observability. And so we now have this Ask Oracle agent over here. And so I can ask something like, what was the last invoice created? Please provide the invoice data. And it will go out there and it will find that this particular invoice was just created and give me access to what the data was. So this is a new feature that we're just starting to roll out. So you can see the last one that was created was this one NWA001, the invoice amount, all of that. So a much more intuitive way for customers to go out and explore their integration. We have a lot of customers say, hey, I'd really like to be able to find out where a particular integration, what is the state of a particular integration, or using integrations to process orders. Did this particular order actually get processed? Or I'm seeing errors. Can you give me an assessment as to what's going on with this particular integration? What errors actually occurred? We're making all that available now through this Ask Oracle. So if we come back to our Langflow, we would see that it actually found 3 documents. 2 of them were invoices. It paid one of those invoices. One of them was skipped because it was not an invoice. And one of them it discovered was actually greater than $25,000. How did it know that? Well, one, it knew it was greater than 25,000 because it extracted the data. But what's the relevance of 25,000? In that policy document, in the knowledge base, we specifically had a policy in there that says anything over 25,000 needs to be approved. When it determined that, it then went to our approval routing tool, which, by the way, was implemented as an integration, but it was implemented through this decision service here. That basically is a hard-coded approval matrix. Obviously, I have myself applied to all of these, but you can easily imagine being able to create any kind of rule-based decision here, any kind of decision matrix to provide the data that you need. And I guess, of course, our agent used that tool to determine who the task should be assigned to. And in fact, if I ask it, what is the status of the approval, it should come back here and tell me that it was assigned to me. So of course it's calling a tool to get the task status. It is assigned to me. If I come over here to back here to OIC, sure, almost feels like it's going to ask me to relog in here for some reason. Let's come to this one. And if I come in here, I come into observe, and I come down here to our observability for process automation, we would see that indeed we do have a process that was initiated. I can come in here and I can open up the workspace. Obviously, your end users will not be coming through OIC observability to get access to their tasks. They would have access to the workspace directly. I can see that task, and I can now approve it. And once I do that, if I were to come back to my agent and ask it to check again, it should come back and tell me that indeed that particular task has been approved, and then it could, of course, go off and continue to process that particular document, which looks like what it's going to do here. With respect to the workspace, so obviously with process automation, we have the ability to send tasks via email and have the tasks be able to be actioned through email. We have our workspace here, but we're also rolling out what we call our MCP apps, which will allow us to do things like I'm trying to find this video here because I have this as a video, kind of just to show you real quick here what that looks like. Yeah. So this is just a very, oops, I gotta like get away from here. Yeah, let's bring this over here. This is something that we're working on here where, and I'm going to turn on the volume, but this is something we're working here is where we are actually making it possible that in addition to the data that the tools can provide through the integrations or what have you, we are also making it possible for for those same exact tools to send back to send back a user interface widget. So in this case here, we see where we're saying, hey, I need to take Monday off because I need to take my child. And what happened is this agent, by the way, this is just simply Claude desktop agent connected to an Oracle MCP server that has some tools. One of those tools being, hey, make a leave request submission. And that tool not only connected to HCM, maybe to find out what my leave balance is and this and that. Not only did it return the data to that agent, but it also returned a UI bundle that agent can now display directly within the client itself. And of course, what that gives us the ability to do is create complete solutions that contain the connectivity to the data, that contain the automation tools to be able to take action, tools like human in a loop and so on and so forth, but also to be able to return back to the agent user experiences that can be directly used to provide a complete functioning solution. We see this as a something that's going to be really important for our partner community. You can imagine you creating completely pre-built applications, if you will, that contain all the business logic, all the user experiences that are necessary, all of the human oversight, all of that orchestration, and then expose it as an MCP server that can then be used literally by any MCP agent itself. So just something that's coming here very shortly. The last thing I want to show real quick is the MCP server gateway. If we were to come back here, and we're still not, whatever is going on there. If we come back here and take a look at the gateway itself. So this is where you define your gateway. Now, when you enable this project to have an MCP server, we will automatically configure a local connection to this MCP server, right? But you can also connect to third-party MCP servers as well. And then what you can do is you can say, I'd like to expose this as a gateway. So I can create a gateway. And then I can pick the MCP server that I want to expose through that gateway. Again, the gateway is nothing more than than an MCP server itself, but it's an MCP server that the agent will connect to, and then we will shuttle all the traffic between the agent to the actual the real MCP servers. And again, what's really nice about this is I can actually create some policies. So here we just have our first tool, which is called tool filter, and I can say I only want read-only tools. Right, so maybe I want my agent to have access to this MCP server, but I don't want them having access to be able to create the invoice, right? And so I could just simply remove that create invoice from that tool set. And now I can come into my gateway and I can say, I would like to apply the read-only tools filter to this gateway. And so now when the agent connects to this gateway, it will not even see nor will it be able to execute this create invoice. So we will be adding quite a large number of policies around ensuring that there's no tool poisoning. So when an agent invokes a tool, there's a risk that the tool will send back malicious instructions to the agent. So we will automatically look for those. We will have policies to remove PII data. We will have business policies. So for instance, maybe I would like my agent to have access to the connect or to the create invoice tool, but I want to limit the amount of invoices. I don't want my agents in my enterprise creating invoices over, $100,000. And so you'll be able to create policy to say, yes, you get access to the create invoice tool, but nothing greater than $10,000 or whatever the case may be. And if the agent requests to create an invoice greater than $10,000, we will step in and we will just simply deny the execution of that tool. So a really nice way for customers to be able to consolidate the authentication to their MCP servers, to be able to inject policies between their agents and the MCP servers themselves, and to be able to have unified observability across all their agents and all of their tools. And so with that, Jürgen, I think that that's all I really wanted to cover. Turn it back over to you.
Wonderful. Thanks for the excellent demo. That was awesome. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So how can we help you? How can we support the partner community? I will talk a little bit about the resources and I will give you some feedback from early adopters, which are already using Agentic AI and Oracle integration. For example, our friends from BoxFusion in the UK, they use it for customer portals. Accenture is transforming their Oracle SaaS customer base with agents. Knex, a partner in the US, connects and innovates PeopleSoft HR workflows. InnoApps offers a workshop to find the right use case for AI. Infobip enable agents to communicate via social media, for example, WhatsApp, and they build therefore an OIC adapter with Rapid Adapter Builder. And similar Fishbowl, the experts in conversational AI, they offer an adapter for Web Center to connect and manage systems. So where to get started, where to learn from successful projects. We published 2 papers. One paper are patterns for departments where we have seen multiple projects, customer projects by the department, for example, accounting, HR, or logistics. And the other paper is on industries. So if you have a customer in telco, you will find some information there, or if you have a customer in retail, and then you can also look for specific departments. That gives you a good idea where and how to start with Agentic AI. We developed a sales kit that includes a cheat sheet and a customer presentation. So you can download the slides that you have seen today. Nathan used many of those slides as a PowerPoint presentation. You can add your service offerings. For example, building a rapid prototype. You can add your references and success stories, and you can fully customize it. We also have a cheat sheet. The cheat sheet will provide you with a quick training for your sales teams or also consultants, including an overview, an elevator pitch, the target market. So with Agentic AI, we are targeting clearly the Oracle integration installed base to reuse the existing integrations for the agents. We target the integration experts or AI experts, and it will also talk about the customer pain point and qualifications. We also offer a workshop to build a rapid prototype, and we can do that as a joint campaign. The idea is that you run such a workshop for your prospects. You can run it for free, you can charge for it. We provide the material, the presentations, and if you want some Oracle speakers, and I'm happy to promote it together. We have run that workshop in the Netherlands for EMEA back in springtime. It was a 3-day workshop, and for basically each customer, we built a rapid prototype, and the attendees really like it. We had usually 2 people per customer, 1 business owner, 1 technical owner, 1 integration experts. We started at the first day to give them demos and presentations. On day 2, we talked about the patterns and the use cases. The customer presented the use cases, and then we did some hands-on training. And on day 3, we jointly built rapid prototypes while we had also one-to-one meetings and feedback. So if you would like to do such a workshop, please reach out to myself. I'm happy to organize it together with your marketing and sales teams. We would like to make sure that you have access to the Oracle Integration Cloud. Oracle Integration is part of the 30-day free trial program. There you get a dedicated instance to build such a customer rapid prototype, or you can start playing around. If you attend an Oracle Integration hands-on training, one of our bootcamps, you get also access to a shared environment in the training environment. To do that, please make use of the training material. We have an excellent team who is building all of that training material. Read the documentation for Integration 3 and also for Agentic AI, and make use of the Live Lab trainings. The Live Lab trainings are free on-demand trainings for everybody. There's a Get Started training with Oracle Integration 3, and there's a Get Started training on Agentic AI. Just visit livelabs.oracle.com for more details, and you can search. Additionally to the live labs, which are on demand, we offer live bootcamps, which are really live trainings. So the next training will be July 7, 9, and 14 for EMEA and Asia time zones. Then in August 11, 13, and 18, we run it for American time zones, Latin America and US America. And in August again for the APAC and EMEA, and October for NAS. Make sure you register. All links are always at our resource kit. We advise our customers to work with you as a partner to implement it, and therefore to look up Partner Finder. That's your opportunity to update your profile in Partner Finder. Look up your own company. I see there many profiles which can be updated with new service offerings around Oracle integration, like to consolidate existing integration iPaaS platforms into Oracle integration, but also to build agents with Oracle integration and apply governance. Also in the cloud marketplace, you can offer your own recipes, accelerators, or you can search for existing ones. There are plenty of really cool solutions from our partners like the InfoPip adapter. If you have questions, please use the Partner Slack channel. You get access to the Partner Slack channel if you attend a training, or use the Cloud Customer Connect. There you can start your conversations, you can submit innovations, and you can earn badges. Nathan mentioned it. For our customer base, we have an early adopter program. The early adopter program is available for Agentic AI, but also for rapid process automation and B2B. We will help you to get trained and learned. We will have one-to-one calls together with you and your customers, but we also want to build a rapid prototype in a joint coaching session. And we require from the customer a customer success story, and we will ask for a 5-star Gartner peer review. Oops, it was too quick. All information that I provided is updated in our monthly newsletter, so make use of the newsletter. We send it out to all community members. If you haven't received it, please subscribe. There you'll find all the links, all the materials, all the resources, and much more information also about our blogs and articles. Today's webcast is recorded and will be available on demand, including presentations and slides. So if you log into Oracle Video Hub, you can also download the slides. At Oracle Video Hub, please join our community there to get a notification once it's available. One webcast series which is available there is the Best Practice webcast series on Video Hub with Anthony Reynolds, which helps you to get started, to set it up, to secure it, to monitor it, and to use Oracle projects like Nathan highlighted. Oracle projects is key for all customers. For all new functionality, it's available in Oracle projects. So to summarize the call, make use of our sales kits. They are really good with the customer presentations and the cheat sheets. Consider to run such a marketing campaign or one-to-one workshops with your installed base where you position agentic AI and iPaaS consolidation. At the Oracle website, oracle.com/integration, you can find now an agentic AI tab with new information. There you find also pricing details. For training, we recommend the live labs on demand or the hands-on trainings, which you find via the resource page. There's a calendar with all the upcoming boot camps. Use the documentation and the training to get ready to build rapid prototypes for your customers. And if you have questions, please submit them in the Cloud Customer Connect program or in the Slack partner channel. All the links, all information is available via the resource page. With that, we would like to come to the Q&A. Nathan, the first question, of course, is about pricing. I saw this multiple times. How do we price for agentic AI?
Yep. So when it comes to exposing integrations as tools and then exposing the MCP server, we are not charging anything additional for that. So it would just simply be the cost of the integrations themselves. We will be charging for access to the MCP server. Probably it's not set in stone yet, but probably something like some sort of consumption-based charge, such as like maybe a message per gateway invocation.
And when will the MCP gateway become available?
The MCP gateway will be available for the AI world timeframe. If you have customers who are interested in that, and by the way, we believe that the gateway will probably be one of the more important features that we deliver, even though, of course, our foundation is in integrations and automation. Customers are naturally going to want to start extending their agent connectivity beyond just what can be done in integrations. They're going to want to be extending it to third-party MCP servers. And this obviously not only provides those customers very tangible value as we talked about, but it provides us and you the ability to also pick up all of that traffic that would normally have gone directly to an MCP server. All of that traffic can now be funneled through and managed through Oracle integration.
Okay, next question is for Kishore. So many people are interested in Ask Oracle and they need to have your integration in a debug mode. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. As far as I know, and there are some questions around the pricing. I see Vernon here. So Vernon, any idea on the pricing for the Ask Oracle?
Okay, we will follow up with that one. I'm not sure if Vernon, can you unmute? Let's try it.
Hi, sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. Yeah, so right now there is no charges for the Ask Oracle feature. But yeah, similar to what Nathan was talking about in terms of the MCP gateway, this too we will decide and we will communicate regarding the charges in the future. But as of today, there are no charges for it.
Okay, next question comes from Mohammed. He would like to know if human in the loop can we approve tasks from emails instead of login into the workspace. Kishore,
yeah, that's what that was for. But yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so the human in the loop does support or will support emails as well as the workspace. But we think that what's going to be the probably the largest kind of task interaction model is to surface those interactions directly within the agents using this new extension to the MCP protocol called MCP apps.
Okay, and talking about MCP servers, is it mandatory to use MCP server to connect the agent to an Oracle database?
It is not. So there is this this technology called Select AI that allows you to connect an LLM directly to the database to ask questions. If that's all you're doing, that's probably sufficient. Once you start, though, creating agents that are maybe taking action on those databases, or you need to orchestrate several different tools, if you will, in kind of more of a deterministic flow, that's when we would think that you might want to start, even for the database, start shuttling that traffic through an integration rather than directly to the database itself. So we
And
don't
what's
want, look, where you have agents that have these native tools, our interest is not in stepping between the agents and their native capabilities. Our interest is primarily focused on when you need to extend beyond those native capabilities.
Nathan, what's the difference between connecting an agent via an MCP server through connecting an application via REST?
Well, the MCP server is really it's just a protocol that allows agents to discover tools. You could almost think of, just as an analogy, each tool representing an individual REST API, right? And so if you were to think about it that way, then an MCP server would then be a collection of APIs that the agent would be able to access. Again, we don't think that it's the right approach, it's the right technical approach to allow your agents to connect directly to the APIs, because what that does is it ensures that all of the governance over how those agents are accessing the APIs, all of the observability, what's going on with those agents, all of that is going to be retained solely within the agent itself. So if you did a great job on agent governance, that's awesome, right? But as a kind of as a team who might be interested in looking at this more at the enterprise level, we think that that's going to end up being very problematic for our customers. They're going to have lots of different agents, create a look across lots of different agent frameworks. Basically, just giving those agents direct access to the APIs is going to end up being a bit of a problem.
So it's the same for an integration. You can hard code an integration and build your spaghetti architecture, or you can use a proper enterprise integration platform.
Yeah, and by the way, the same exact argument applies to the MCP server. It's just one layer up in the stack. So lower in the stack, access to the APIs versus access to a set of governed access through the MCP server. One step up above in that stack is the same exact problem, the same exact solution. That being the MCP gateway.
Okay. Any questions that you would like to highlight for the audience, Nathan, that you answered in the Q&A? Okay, sure.
No, I was just kind of going through them still. Yeah, well, we maybe want to talk about overage, so nothing to do with AI. Maybe on our next call, we should maybe talk a little bit about what we're doing for overages, just so that you guys know. I believe that there's some blogs out there also that describe that, so we should get those out to you.
So thanks again for the wonderful fiscal year FY26. We are looking forward to the next 12 months. With Agentic AI, we have something which is highly demanded by our customers, which is a hot speaking topic. And Oracle Integration is a unique in position to provide the data we already provide to the application integration, to also to agents, and to apply governance on top of it. If you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to the team, Neil in EMEA, Paolo Mota in South America, Ravi Chaplani in the US, Ravi Pinto in India, Steve Tyndall in Asia, and myself for any kind of marketing and sales activities. We showed you the resources, make use of them. You find there plenty of material, and we would like to say thank you for attending today's webcast. Please complete the online survey once you leave, and we are looking forward to welcome you in July and August. Thank you very much for attending.